What's going on, everybody? Car Guy V8 here. Today I figured I'd bring y'all one last video of my 1979 GMC Sierra. This truck's been on the channel now for a little over 2 years that I've been working on it, and it's kind of a long way, but I'm finished with it. I just put some finishing touches on it and listed it on the Facebook Marketplace a few days ago, and so I'm going to show y'all what all I've done. And the truck as you see it now, this will probably be the last time that it's on the channel if things go as planned. And it has been a fun project, but you know how it goes. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. So let's take a look. It's a really good looking little short wheelbase truck, actually. I just put these wheels on it recently. I took the saw blades off because I intend to keep those. I usually run them on all my cool vehicles. I would rather sell it with these than my good wheels. Those are good tires too, only 3 years old. 357 small block's been doing really well, actually. Its oil pressure isn't quite what I like. I'm running 20 W50, and at 1,000 RPMs, it's right at 10 PSI. But, you know, it has 10 for every 1,000 RPMs pretty much, so it's okay. Not where I'd like it to be, but I now have about 400 miles on this engine, and it's been running good, sounds good, fun little driver. The wiring is still not very good. I'd always intended to do something with it, but every time there'd be an opportunity to, something major would happen, and I'd wind up doing major work on the truck, and it just kind of kept being pushed to the side until now it's being sold and the wiring's like that. It's functional, but it's ugly. I just always kept a fire extinguisher with me. This is the main problem with the truck right here. I've told y'all in the past the story, so I'm not going to repeat it, but that's the main problem. It happened before I got the truck. It shifted the whole front clip like 1 inch or so over this way. You can kind of see it down the body line. Did not affect the way that it drives in the least. It's literally just cosmetic, and that causes the hood to not be able to fit on it with my brand new hood hinges. The hood will go on with old hood hinges, but it doesn't look the best. It sits a little bit funky. So that's the whole reasoning behind this little carb scoop and the taller intake. It's not the right way to do it, but as I've said in the past, I'm not a body guy by any means. Brand new fuel tank and fuel lines. The transmission's good, turbo 400. The stall converter's brand new. New master cylinder here. I repainted it because it rusted, man. These things rust fast, so I just repainted it. It was brand new. So is the fluid. So is all the brake lines going all the way around it. New power steering lines. That's the newest thing I did, too. I cannot believe I waited this long to put power steering on. I put it on because I knew that anybody that was to buy this truck wouldn't like the manual steering, and I wish I had done it a long time ago. It's kind of like the wire. I kept pushing it off because I had cool modifications to do and go fast parts to put on, and so this functional stuff like that, I just didn't get to it, and I had other cool projects like the Camaro. I love this car. This is such a cool car. So I've always been dividing my time between this car, this truck, and I've had other projects at the time. So that's one reason why I kind of do everything halfway instead of one thing 100%. The wood in the bed's good, brand new. It's a little warped. It just sits in there right now. I painted the door panels. They were blue, just like, let me try to find something. They were blue, just like the spray paint. That's just overspray from the previous owner. But that's the biggest rust spot on the whole truck. It's really not that bad, but it is a little bit of rust. Painted that door panel too. It's a little cluttered in here. These are just extra parts like my hood hinges, the fan. I don't run a mechanical fan on it because it stays really cool. It still sounds good. See, it goes back down to idle. See, oil pressure's really not the best, but it's okay at least. But look at that, man. Power steering makes all the difference. I'm actually going to reorient this truck real quick. Might as well do it while I started it. Look at that, man. Used to, it was both hands to do anything. All right, let me put it in reverse now, switch hands. I've been keeping it under a car cover since it's just been sitting out here. I don't want leaves and water and stuff to get on it. It's a redneck leaf blower. It's a pretty good running little setup. Well guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed seeing this truck on the channel over the last couple of years. It's kind of bittersweet letting it go because I always thought this would be a forever truck, but things, you know, they just change. I got my other cool projects and need a little bit of cash, so I've got it listed right now at $5,000, running, driving truck with new tires, new brakes, engine and trans good and all that kind of stuff. Might be a touch steep. I am willing to take an offer on it. I know just a few years ago, this probably would only be $1,000, $2,000 truck, but you know, the market changes. Everything's more expensive these days. If I can't get around $4,000, I may wind up parting it out. I really don't want to do that. I would hate to do that to this truck because I've loved it, but I got to let it go, and I don't want to lose too much on it, if you know what I'm saying. So I would wind up selling the bed and the engine and transmission separately and then just selling the shell. Could almost get more that way, but that's a lot of extra work. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video and have enjoyed seeing this truck on the channel. But don't get discouraged. There's a lot more cool things to come and other cool vehicles in the future of this channel. And I figure out of all the ones I have, I think this is probably the one people like the least, just based on my views on my YouTube analytics and stuff like that. Not that people don't like it, but compared to all the other stuff I've owned, viewership just isn't the same, so it makes sense to get rid of this one.